Hi, my name's Nicole. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a homeschooling mom with 2 kids at home. I have a daughter who's going into 5th grade, and my son is 3, almost 4, but I'm not formally homeschooling him. Today I wanted to talk to you about the 5th grade curriculum picks that I picked for my daughter. I'm really excited to go over those with you. Last year was the first year that I homeschooled her, and she's a little young for a 5th grader. She's about 6 weeks from the school cutoff. So when I'm picking her curriculum, I keep that in mind. I consider her a 4B/5A. And I just find that meeting her where she's at works really well. If something's too hard, she shuts down. If something's too easy, she gets bored. But if I can give her just enough challenge where she can grasp the concept and build that confidence, that's a win. So the first subject that we're going to talk about, which is the easiest, is math. I'm going to make a math video about our journey last year, but we finally found something that really works for her, and that is Singapore Math, Primary Mathematics Standard Edition. Now, the reason that I chose the Standard Edition for this is because I'm using it in conjunction with Wisdom Wonder Project videos. They are so fabulous. The group of ladies that teach these classes are just very fun and engaging. It is a little on the pricier side. It's $200 a year for the subscription, or $20 a month, which is the option I choose. I feel like that doesn't hit the wallet as hard, but it has just made it so seamless. I still have to stand there with her or sit with her, and I work with her on the textbook and the workbook afterwards, but for some reason, my daughter just really responds much better to those videos than me teaching her. And this year we will be doing 4B and 5A, this was a mid-year switch last year and she finished 4A. However, I have been told that Singapore is 1 to 2 semesters ahead of normal US standards. So in that regard, she would be right on par. All right, so the next subject, and my favorite, is language arts. So last year we started Beowulf grammar, and we're going to be continuing on. We're on just almost done with quarter 1, and we're starting on quarter 2. If you don't know anything about Beowulf grammar, this is for grades 2nd through 6th, and it's split into 4 quarters, plus there's an additional review workbook. This is so fun. It's full of activities. My daughter asks to do grammar, and that is a win in my book. So honestly, we may be carrying this on into the 6th grade year. We'll keep you posted. Okay, so next let's talk about vocabulary. I have 2 different options for her. So the first one that we're doing is word ladders. I'm sure you guys all know about this. I've heard nothing but wonderful things, and I'm really excited to get started on this. And the second vocabulary that we're doing is word roots. I'm sure you've also all heard of word roots as well. I am starting on beginning, which is, 3rd to 4th grade. Like I said before, meeting her where she's at. She also has never really dealt with word roots. So we're going to finish this 5th grade year. And I think the next level is 5th through 8th. Anyhow, she'll fit right in on level 1 after this. So for writing, which is one of my favorite subjects, we're doing writing and rhetoric, level 1, fables. We are a secular homeschool family. However, I have heard, and based on my review, there's nothing in here that I wouldn't be okay discussing with my daughter. I really like how this is set up. And also, book 1 is technically for 3rd to 4th graders. But in my review, I feel like my daughter at 5th grade this is the perfect level for her. And honestly, if I was to do this with my son, I may not begin this curriculum until 5th grade either. It seems to fit better. I feel like if I started her at 3rd to 4th grade in this, she feels like she might have been a little young. All right, literature. So 2 things. First, I just got this cute little reading log from Amazon. We started this last year. When she reads a book or I read a book to her, let's see if I can find a page she has it written in. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside. It's short, simple review. I do read to her every day. We just finished the One and Only Ivan series. There's 4, the One and Only Ivan, the One and Only Bob, which is hilarious. The One and Only Ruby and The One and Only Family. We actually just finished yesterday. That series is fantastic. Catherine Applegate just has a way of talking about really serious subjects, but bringing in humor, and just the way that it's written is just beautiful. I loved it. And I'm not going to lie, I cried several times reading those books. And the main literature component that we're doing is Mostas Press, and we're doing Ruby, which is the 4th grade level. We started this midway last year, no surprise. And this is a very used version. I got it for maybe 20 bucks on eBay. I think it's $62 new. And I also, there's 2 teacher editions and a student workbook that you can get to come with it. This curriculum is very expensive if you get all the parts. I think it's $166 before tax and shipping. However, I actually sold the teacher editions that I had got because I didn't feel like I needed it. There's enough questions within the student textbook as well as the student workbook, which is $24 new. This has graphic organizers, vocabulary, comprehension questions, but deeper questions, to get them to think, projects. The stories within Mostas are so rich, and they teach such great morals and ethics in a very kid-friendly way, and I've really enjoyed doing this with my daughter. I have 5th grade level Coral, which we'll do soon. As you can see, I'm about halfway through. And I'm actually going to do a separate video on this explaining how I use this curriculum. Okay, for spelling, we have Spelling UC. I do have a little bit of a Charlotte Mason flair, and last year we tried copywork and dictation from the Modern Speller. I didn't love that as much. I'm hoping that this will work better with my daughter, so I'll keep you posted on that. There are 2 books and a teacher book that you can get for this curriculum. Okay, so lastly is poetry. So at the beginning of every day, my daughter goes and finds some poems and reads them to me. It's her favorite part of the day. We have 2 that we've been working on. Where the Sidewalk Ends, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. My daughter loves this. As you can see, all her post-it flags of all the ones that she wants to go back to over and over. And then the next one that I have is National Geographic's Book of Animal Poetry. This is one of her favorites. And you guys, this is so worth it. I mean, these pictures and the quality. Let me see if I can find a good one. I mean, it's just, they're stunning. The poems are easy and well thought out. She loves this one. They also have a nature one, which I intend to get in the future. All right, so that is language arts. Next, let's talk about mental health. I actually have quite a bit of curriculum for mental health. It's something that's really important to me. Okay, so the first one we have is this empathy workbook. We started on this last year, and we are maybe a third of the way through. So we'll just keep plugging along this. I do like this. This has been really good for her. So the next one I have is called Mindful Affirmations and Activities. She really likes this one as well. We usually do this one or the empathy one once a week. Then the other item that we do daily is we read from a book together. So we'll generally start with our poems, and then I'll read from her out of one of the mental health books just to kind of wake her up. So we are halfway through this one. This is My Mixed Emotions. We did start this last year. However, this is a fantastic book. My daughter loves it. It's been so informative for me, and I'm really looking forward to using this with my son. We're also reading Dude, That's Rude, Get Some Manners. This is a pretty funny book too. We have read a couple in here, and my daughter liked that. We're also doing The Care and Keeping of You Too. And we're doing It's Perfectly Normal. The book prior to this, It's Not the Stork, we read that last year, and that worked really, really well for Emma. And the last mental health that we do once a week is I have the Big Life Journal for her. But I also got, that comes with it, you can get the lesson plans and, oops, the podcast kit. This is a phenomenal curriculum. It can be a little pricey if you get the journal, the podcast, and the lesson plans, but it is well worth it. We've done one lesson in this, and my daughter really likes that. All right, so the next subject is science. So for science, I'm taking a unit study approach, and I asked my daughter what she wanted to do this year, starting off, and she said oceans. So I got the Good and the Beautiful marine biology unit. As I mentioned before, we are a secular homeschool family, but I don't have problems taking religious curriculum and incorporating it into something that works for us. And this has so few instances referencing religion that it's not going to be an issue to just skip over that stuff. And we have a lot of religious families, so I don't shy away from religion at all. We discuss it. We discuss all different types of religion, what different people believe. So that's a very common subject in our household. So something like this wouldn't bother us. I did get the 3 to 6 notebook that came with it, the student journal. Now, to kind of give her a little more history on the secular viewpoint, I did get DK Ocean to go along with this. This book is beautiful, just stunning. And when we use a DK Ocean, I've got this science notebook for her to, just got this on Amazon. She has a page to draw and then write if she wants. So generally what I'll do is we'll do a lesson in the Good and the Beautiful, and then I'll go on the DK. We'll go a little deeper into it the next day, and we'll use this science notebook. Now, I've added a lot of things to this. So when I call it unit study, the Good and the Beautiful is my spine. So we have that along with the others I just showed. The Good and the Beautiful does have 2 books, Dive and Dangerous Sea Creatures. Those are beautiful books. So I've gotten a lot of literature books to include in this unit study for Emma to kind of give her more of a well-rounded study. So science comics. If you guys haven't heard of science comics, these rock. You can get them in a plethora of subjects. We used these last year for our science when we did space, and my daughter just loved it. So when we get to the coral reef section, I will give her that. When we get to the shark section, there's a comic for that. And there's a comic for when we get to the whales. Also, when we get to the sharks, Book Shark has a free unit on sharks. Wow, how many times can you say shark? And it goes along with this book. So when we get to the shark section in the Good and the Beautiful, we'll take a pause and we will do the free Book Shark 3-week unit that goes along with this book. In addition, I got How to Draw Incredible Sharks and Other Ocean Giants for her to use in her science notebook when we are doing Book Shark or any of the other units that we're doing. This has quite a bit of ocean animals in it. When we get to the whale part, I got 2 whale units that I saw on, I believe it's Mama Librarian's YouTube channel that she did with her son. So I took those and kind of combined them together. So we'll be working on that. In addition to her reading Song for a Whale, I've heard good things about this. This will be a read aloud, so I'm looking forward to that. When we get to the otter section, we are going to read the book Otter by Catherine Applegate. As before, I love her. I heard this is in more of a verse form, and I'm looking forward to reading that with Emma. And lastly, when we get to the sea turtle, I have this National Geographic Mission Sea Turtle Rescue. And in it, she's going to write a project about how to help save sea turtles. There's a lot of information about that in here. This is really a great book. My daughter loves National Geographic, so she eats that stuff up. Okay, so we're almost done. Art. My daughter is very artistic, loves crafts. That's her jam. If you want to know where she is, she's in the homeschool room, making a mess, getting all her craft stuff out. So I did get this from the Good and the Beautiful, the Creative Arts and Crafts. She loves this sort of stuff. She is at the tail end of this. However, they have such cool stuff in here, and they have a lot of holiday stuff that she would really like to do. So we will be doing things from that. Also from the Good and the Beautiful, in their 5th grade language arts, they have something called Watercolor Around the World. And you can get it for free, or you can buy their book. Specifically, they have a sea turtle in here that we'll be doing when we're doing our sea turtle unit for the Good and the Beautiful. I like to tie in art whenever I can. And also, because I got it from the Good and the Beautiful, they have templates that come with it to help them. So that's super fun, in addition to just a huge set of watercolors that I got from Amazon. And the last thing is Outside the Box Creation is an art subscription that you can get monthly. I believe it's $40 if you do month by month. This is amazing. It's for 2 kids. Every month is something different. It has 4 lessons. There are videos that go along with it. All of the art supplies go along with it. There's a book that goes along with it. This month, they're doing air dry clay, and here's the 4 lessons that go along with it. And look, it came with a book. It came with the acrylic paint set and all these supplies. There's actually quite a bit more stuff in here. I won't go through it all, but it's amazing. And I used to sit down with her and do it. However, sometimes we have an iPad that we use for school, just for school, for watching videos. I'll just hook that up for her, and she'll just get on the videos and go through the lessons herself. Okay, I know I said art was the last one, but I'm sorry, I completely forgot about history and French. So my mom actually teaches my daughter those subjects. My mom homeschooled me for several years when I was younger, and she really enjoys homeschooling. And so I didn't have any problem when my mom wanted to teach those subjects. To give you a little background, my mom went to college to be a French professor. My dad is from Switzerland, and specifically the French-speaking side of Switzerland. So French is his first language. Both my parents are fluent in French. And so obviously it's important that Emma learns French. So they did start last year, and they're on French 2 this year. What my mom says is French 2 elementary, or would be considered where you'd be at if you'd already taken a 1.5 years of middle school French. So unfortunately, I don't really have a curriculum to show you, because she's just gotten a lot of different units from teacher grade teachers and other sources and kind of combined them, and in addition to making her own. She's very creative that way, and there's no way that I could duplicate or show you everything that she does. But I'll give you some examples of what was last year. This was a book she made last year, Greetings and Introductions. This contains many units combined. She also created a French picture dictionary, a verb notebook, and this is truly the tip of the iceberg. So this next subject that she teaches is history. She's doing U.S. history. And again, same thing. She gets a bunch of different teacher grade teacher units, creates them, kind of makes her own. So the subjects she's covering this year, and I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget, is Colonial America, America Revolution, the Constitution and Declaration of Independence, Civil War, and Westward Expansion. So about 3 times a week, my mom will come over for about 1.5 hours and sit with my daughter, go through these subjects. They have a good time spending time together anyways, so it's a win-win for all of us. All right, I promise that's it. Please feel free to leave any questions in the comments. I'd love to talk to you from there. My hobby is truly watching YouTube curriculum videos and talking to content creators. If you know, you know. If you could please like and subscribe, that really helps my channel. I appreciate it. And I will be making a video soon on my month update on how the curriculum's been going and if I'm going to make any changes. So I'll be looking out for that. Thanks for watching my video. Appreciate it.